Hey guys, let's see if I can film this video before my battery runs out. So this will be like a little game we're gonna play. I am reporting to you from the hotel. I'm still living it up in the hotel. I am one floor down. Exciting. My view is still the industrial park, but I have a tree that's living outside my window that I have named Queenie, and she has been my company for the past little while. I have been studying like crazy. It's every single night. Like, I mean, you guys know if you're in school or you've gone to school or anything, you know it. It's crazy. But I've been out of school for so long that I don't think I was prepared for this. It is crazy, but it's going well, and I enjoy it. But it's been a lot of work. If you're curious for any weird reason, what I'm talking about with school is that I am in funeral services school, and I'm taking for my funeral director's license and things like that. So that's what I've been studying, is death and death ecology, law, embalming, microbiology, funeral practices, world religions. I mean, those are just some of my ethics, communication. I mean, it keeps going. Just some of my classes that I've had exams on over the past 2 weeks. So my brain's a little bit melted. That's literally been my life. Holy moly. I'm enjoying it though, like I said. Anyway, this video is one where I wanted to sit down and talk to you and just do another tag. I kind of like the idea of these little tag videos as kind of being ways that you can get to know me a little bit better, and then if you do them, I'll get to know you a little bit better, and I think that's awesome. I was watching Heather Carter earlier tonight, sitting with one of my witchy friends on YouTube and just enjoying her videos, and I watched her tag on 10 questions every tarot reader, I almost said funeral director, that would not make sense, 10 questions every tarot reader should answer. And as a tarot reader, I really wanted to do that. So maybe you guys can get to know a little bit more about how I approach tarot, my views on different things, and then we can get into that a little bit more. My channel is called Tarot with Tasha, and I know I don't post an awful lot of tarot stuff, but tarot is such a personal thing. It's become a personal thing for me, and I don't know, it's weird. It's been, before it was very public. I read for people. I had a Facebook page. I did cards of the day. I am very involved with tarot, and I've recently, because of school, I've had to take a major step back. I mean, you have to make sacrifices in your life when you're doing things like this, when you're making changes, and tarot unfortunately had to be that thing, especially when it comes to public stuff. So it's become a very personal thing again for me. It's become very much a me thing, something I do for myself to enjoy. I'll pull a card of the day, and instead of sharing it, I keep it to myself. And I want to get out of that because I enjoy the other side, but it's also been, I'm getting something from just making it more personal. So anyways, I've rambled on enough. Let's do this tag. Question number 1. Were you mentored or were you self-taught? I was mentored. I had a teacher. I met my teacher when I was about 15 years old at a Halloween party that I definitely should not have been at. And she was reading tarot, and when it's really stereotypical, but she was in a back room. It was candlelit. She was all dark. She's a beautiful woman, and I walked in and we started just immediately, boom, had a relationship. You know how with some people, you just connect with them on a level that is completely different, and you just know your paths were meant to cross. And that's kind of what it was like. And she just sat me down and did a reading for me. And then it was like, immediately she asked me, like, do you want to learn tarot? And I was like, yeah, I do. Like, I'm really, really interested in tarot and blah, 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 my whole story. And so she's like, well, I want to teach someone, and I get a good feeling from you, so can I teach you? And then we just formed a friendship, and once a month, for about 5 years, actually, I went to her house and we went through the Rider-Waite-Smith deck one card at a time. And she told me, like, you're going to take this card, you're going to live with it, it's going to be applied to your life, it's going to be applied to people that you meet. And that is how I learned the cards. And I'm very, very grateful for her, because without her, like, in my craft, I find that anything that I have to teach myself, it's a very slow process that I'm really, really good, then I fall off the rails, and then I'm really good, and back and forth. So that if I don't have structure or someone that is kind of counting on me, it's a very, like, I'll do it when I feel like it thing. And I'm like, fortunately, tarot wasn't like that. Tarot became a, we're gonna do this once a month kind of thing. So I had a long story short, I had a mentor. Are you psychic or a tarot reader? I don't think I'm psychic. Like, it's not that I don't like that word, but I just think that that word has a lot of negative connotations and a lot of imagery that maybe we don't, like, as tarot readers, don't necessarily, I don't want to say don't want to be associated with, but just the negative stuff. Like, we try so hard to let people see there's more to tarot than just, like, telling the future. So I would not call myself a psychic, but I'm very much an intuitive reader. My intuition is number one. When I'm reading for you, I don't care what a book said. I don't care what the tarot reader down the street said. I don't care what, like, it's what comes to me, what message comes to me from that card is what's going to come out of my mouth. So very, very intuitive. And I would just go with that. Yeah, I'm a tarot reader. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. So yeah, is that like a little bit psychic? I don't know. But I just know that that gut feeling, that weird feeling, it's worth listening to. So I'm going to go with that. I am a tarot reader. Are your predictions accurate, and is accuracy important to you? I'm not big on predictions, but I do think that the tarot, when we're looking into the future, it's hard not, for me personally, it's hard not to do some predictions. And I've had some pretty cool stories. I've had a couple of people come back and say, like, meet my baby that you told me I was going to have. I know, cliche. My cousin who never wanted children, like, absolutely no. I did reading for her and I was like, I think you're gonna have a kid. Like, I don't know, but I think. And she got pregnant and called me and told me, like, I'm never getting a tarot reading from you again. Yeah, so things like that, or relationships, or just, yeah, job opportunities. I've definitely made some predictions. Some predictions weren't correct. Some of them, it didn't happen, because with predictions, that's what you're seeing right now today. Like, right now, your path is going to change all the time. So you could influence it. Just because I'm, like, sitting here saying, oh, you know, the cards are saying you're going to have a baby, and then you're like, fuck no, and you take every precaution not to have a baby, well, you're not going to. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, predictions are just, they're fluid. So take them with a grain of salt, I guess. Is there anything you can't predict? Oh, and the other part of the question, sorry, is accuracy important? Like I say, I think it's important, but it's fluid. Like, if it's not, it's not. Is there anything you can't predict in a reading? No, I don't think so. I think it just depends on the cards. It just depends what the cards want to talk about. That's what's going to come up. So I don't really feel like it's about me as the reader, like, oh, I don't get into that, or I can't predict that. I just go with the flow. So if the cards pick something up, obviously I look at that like you were meant to get that message. Do you only use tarot, or are you multi-disciplinary? Disciplinary, I like that word. It's kind of sexy. Anyway, sorry, I'm alone in a hotel. I really only use tarot. I can read palms. I'm not great at reading palms, but I've studied that a bit, and I know the lines of the hand, and I could definitely do a palm reading. And I've dabbled in other, like, I like bibliomancy. I like, you know, just opening a book and finding a word, and I guess we got New York, stuff like that. Like, Actually, it's twice I've gotten randomly New York. Anyway, what is New York trying to tell me? Derailed, squirrel brain. The little squirrel is just running away and the battery is ticking down. Oh, no pressure, Tasha. Bibliomancy. Bibliomancy, I love that. I love other forms of divination that don't really take a lot of study, like just easy little things that you can do, counting seeds to see how many paths you're going to take, or just simple things. Like, I love that. Looking at the clouds and trying to divine, you know, what's in what shapes they are, what kind of messages are there, just things, looking for signs. I do a lot of that, but I really tarot is my thing. Like, if I'm going to study, it's going to be tarot. Is the message in the cards or in your head? I think it's a little bit of both. I think that the cards are giving us the symbology, right? Symbology, symbolism. One's not a word. I think it's symbolism's not a word. So the symbology of the card is going to trigger things in my mind based on universal symbols that we're all kind of familiar with. And that's going to kind of trigger this chain reaction where suddenly it's like, boom. I feel like when I'm doing a reading for someone, I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. Like, not that I ever really think before I speak anyways, but I am just letting the words flow. Whatever comes to me, I just go with it. I'm not sitting there and kind of really analyzing or kind of thinking in my head. I'm not in my head. I'm out there somewhere, and it's just this intuitive voice that comes through. It's me. I know it's me. Like, I'm not saying I'm bringing in some divine power, but I feel like it's just this intuitive, this gut, it just comes out, and the cards trigger that. They're the spark that gets the ignition going. So I think it's both of us. Are you a priest or a fortune teller? Ooh. I think I am a fortune teller for sure. That's kind of a different question. I'm going to look at that question like, are you doing this as like a spiritual, to counsel people, to make it like a therapy thing, or are you just telling fortunes and having fun with it? And I think that it's not that I don't take tarot seriously, because I do. It is my identity and my life with most people that know me. It's just that I want people to have fun. I want to have fun with it. I don't want to come off with this air like I can solve all your problems, or the tarot can fix all your problems, because that's not the truth. And I'm not a therapist, as much as some days I feel like a frigging therapist. And most tarot readers can relate to that. You really do. But I do it in the same sense that a hairdresser or, nurses and a billion other professions where people listen to one another. Tarot is kind of like that, and I feel like I'm more like a listening ear, or like a friend, someone that you can confide in, that you know it's not going to go anywhere. So I still feel like I'm more of a fortune teller, not so much a priest, in the sense that I'm not there to spiritually save you, but I'll be there for you. So maybe I'm a priestess fortune teller. I don't know. Are you a fixer or a looker? I would say a looker. Again, when we do the cards, I'm going to teach you, well, maybe I'm a fixer. I don't know. Because it's like, we're going to do the reading and I'm going to give you advice from the cards and tips. And then you're going to take that and you're going to do whatever you want with it. I'm not going to fix your life. Like, I'm not going to follow up with you, or, unless you message me, don't get me wrong, but it's not like I'm going to be your life coach and make sure that everything's fixed. Like, we're going to do the reading. I'm going to let you take what you want from it. And then if you reach out to me, cool. And if you don't, that's cool. I'm not going to be like at you. So I don't really feel like I'm a fixer, but I'm a looker, because I'm looking into the future for you. I'm looking into the cards, but the looker seems so passive. Again, maybe a little bit of both. Do you read for free or for a fee? I charge for my private readings and my public, my parties and stuff like that. And I do that because I've been reading for the past almost 17 years, and I've put a lot of work and effort, and I didn't start charging people until I was already 10 years into my study. So 5 with my teacher, 5 on my own, doing free readings for family, friends, coworkers, anyone who would let me. And then I started charging. I still charge the same amount that I charged back then, which is $25. It's not a lot of money, but it is enough to keep me it's more for my time, because when we're doing a reading, we're probably going to be together for an hour at the minimum. And again, it's not that I don't want to be doing it, but I feel like my time is worth something. My advice is worth something. The knowledge that I have on these cards is worth something. But I also think it shouldn't break your bank. It shouldn't be a huge expensive thing for you as the client coming in. Like, I understand that people just don't have a lot of money, so I kind of keep it at that same offering that I've had it at for a really, really long time, like pretty much from the get-go. But that's like prices and like what someone else may value for a half an hour or an hour of their time. I'm not saying that that's wrong, whether it's more or less, because it's totally individual. And if you, the person who wants the reading, wants to pay it, then go for it. So no, like, I don't really think that it matters. And I don't think that a low price says I'm a bad tarot reader versus a high price says that someone else is going to be an amazing tarot reader. I think that it's all kind of, there are readers for each person. Like, there's a reader for every person, and there's a type of reader for every person, and you'll find the person that works for you. And long story short, I just don't care what you charge, because that's on you. Like, that's cool. Like, make your money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people who don't charge either. Like, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good in the tarot hood. Is there anything you won't predict in a reading? The only thing that I will not get into is death, because I've heard stories from other people who've had tarot readings. For example, a friend of mine went with her mom to a tarot reader who told them that their father was going to die within the year. Why would you plant a seed like that? Why would you do that? They spent a whole year worried about him. They spent a whole year, everything he did, they were on him. He spent a whole year being harassed by his loved ones because they thought he was going to die. He lived, he's still alive to this day. I'll knock on some wood. There's that little bit of stitchiousness. And that seed was planted. It's the same as if you say to someone, oh, I see in the cards that you're going to get really sick. Well, that could plant a seed and they could go hurt themselves or to do something serious. So I don't think, we're not doctors. And that's what I tell people. If you want to talk about death, you go to your doctor, and your doctor will tell you all about what state you're in. Don't come to me. I won't touch death. But I will, if I get a feeling that someone's loved one, and I am not a medium, and I tell my clients that I do not pretend to be a medium. But if I do get a feeling that somebody's loved one is coming through in a way that, like, there's an angel looking out for them or whatever, I'll talk about that. But I won't talk about anybody dying, whether it's the person getting the reading or someone in their family. That's it for the tag. All 10 questions. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's really brightened my night, and it's broken up my studying, and I feel a little bit less lonely. So thank you, and I will put a link to Heather's awesome video below, and I hope you have an amazing evening. Bye.